mentioned prior to the meeting, and we're going to discuss matters of real estate, personnel, and litigation. I'd like to start with the pledge of allegiance, followed by one of the silence, and tonight to be led by Mr.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everybody. Thanks to the staff for setting this up. We're temporarily utilizing the buses here in assistance in that regard. I'd like to start out with petitions, comments from citizens. Does anybody wish to address the board tonight? Okay, hearing none. We'll go into reports of committees, and we did have some committee changes, so if you're new to your committee report and you want to rely on your previous incumbent, please feel free to do so. We'll start out with Buildings and Grounds, Commissioner Rothrock.
Thank you, Mr. President. The administration building renovations are underway while we're here. The completion date, the target date is the end of April. And the building is closed to the public. Offices have been relocated to the basement. Went over today to see how it's going, and they're settled in pretty well there and working away. One of the things that we talked about there is how much space there is. Go through that. It turned out that there'd be a lot more space than I think folks thought it was going to be, and with a lot of boxes around, they have a fairly comfortable situation there. So going forward, I think we can look at, maybe better utilization of that space. It's a lot more than you think. Also, a portion of the front parking lot's been fenced off, so there won't be any parking there for anybody. They're using that for material storage and worker parking, and a dumpster. That concludes my report.
Question?
Sure.
Does that mean the tax collections in the spring are we not available for people to come to the township building now? When you say it's closed, I mean, it's completely for...
Yeah, so the question was whether the county tax collector would have office hours in the municipal building this spring. The answer to that is no. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to accommodate that. Again, with the building being closed, there has been a number of years that, at least 2 years, that she has not been physically present. So again, there's other means for folks to obviously permit their tax payments. But thank you, Commissioner.
All right, thanks. Next report, Budget and Finance, Commissioner Fleming.
I think I can project. No, we do? Okay. Sorry. No official report, though. When we get to the report of bills paid, I will discuss something as it relates to our finances. Pay every year, so I will address that when we get to the report of bills paid. But we have no report. I'm honored to lead budget and finance, and I look forward to being in contact with our finance officer, manager, and crafting the budget as we do annually. I think my predecessor, Commissioner Sanders, did a nice job of providing a lookout, and I do plan to utilize that going forward. It's really important that we
we are taking a look at our financial position in the short term and the long term as well. So, thank you, Mr. President.
Next up, Public Works, Commissioner Knapp.
No report at this time, sir.
Health and Sanitation, Commissioner Bartlett.
She should be coming through.
Yeah, the only thing I have to report is that Kenways will be picking up the Christmas trees this coming Saturday, the 15th. They were supposed to come last weekend, but with the weather, they had some staffing issues. They weren't able to pick them up last weekend, but again, they will be able to pick them up on Saturday, the 15th. Thank you.
Thank you. Administration and Personnel, Commissioner Knapp.
Yes, at this time, I'd like to turn it over to the council manager. That's all right. I can take it.
Thank you, Vice President Napper. Is that? Hello? Okay, all right. So there are a number of items coming out of the Admin Personnel Committee for the board's consideration this evening. The Admin Personnel Committee had an opportunity to meet yesterday and discuss a number of these. The first action on the agenda this evening relates to confirmation of the offer of employment that was extended as Township Manager Secretary beginning on March 1st, 2022.
All right, is there a motion? So moved. Second. Moved and seconded by Commissioner Knapp. Any discussion? I think all the commissioners have had a chance to Mr. Provoca, and he brings a lot to the table, and I'm certainly looking forward to getting him here. Where circumstances were different, and we weren't losing the other David 1.0, but I'm sure David 2.0 is going to be great for the township, and we're looking forward to it. I understand he's streaming in from his vacation in Florida tonight, and so welcome, David. In a couple of minutes, if you'd like to say something, we'd be happy to entertain that. In the meantime, does anybody else have a comment on the motion and the second? All right, it's been moved and seconded to ratify the offer of employment extended to David Babolko. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Unopposed. Motion carries. Thank you. Second, as a matter of logistics in the process of onboarding Dave Probolka, he signed an agreement, the same agreement you just ratified, and I executed on behalf of the township with the understanding that we would come back to you and ask for ratification of same. So with that, the chair would entertain a motion to endorse the ratification of, or the execution by me of the agreement with Mr. Probolka.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Moved by Commissioner Pine, seconded by Commissioner Engel. Any comment or discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
And opposed. Motion carries. Well, welcome aboard, Mr. Babolka. Are you there?
Thank you very much. I really just want to express my appreciation to the entire Board of Commissioners for your confidence in me. It's been a pleasure kind of getting to know some of you through the process that we just went through, and I know my family and I are really excited to get out and be part of the community. I'm sorry I can't be with you in person today, but I look forward to getting to know you all better in the coming months and getting to know the community and the residents. So thank you again.
Well, thank you. And I know Commissioner, our 10th Commissioner, Mr. Kratzer, has been helpful to you in your transition.
But feel free to reach out to any of us as you move forward and the time gets closer, and we look forward to working with you, and welcome aboard.
Very well, thank you.
Thank you. All right, next up is the report of the admin committee.
Mr. President, Commissioners, I'd like to move to approve the 2022 employees' wage retroactive to January 1st, 2022, as noted in the report received from the Admin Personnel Committee. Further, I move to change the position titles for Elizabeth Logan and George Drees to Assistant Township Manager and the Assistant Director of Public Safety for fire and retroactive to January 1st, 2022. Mr. President, this ends my report, and this is a motion. I take it down. I'm next.
Any discussion on the motion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. That's the end of your report.
Yes, sir. In motion.
Please, Commissioner Rankin.
No report.
Thank you. Fire EMS. Commissioner Hickswell, new to this, he's got this assignment. So you can only lean on Mr. Clement.
Yes, if there's anything to report, I'm going to defer. Today's my first day.
Yeah, the only thing I have to report is that for the next meeting, we should look forward to the the fire statistics for the year 2021 in total. Both the numbers for progress and rescue, the number of calls they attended to. So we should be looking forward to that next time. And Fire Marshal Drees knows that you're the contact from here on out. So congratulations, Commissioner. That concludes my report.
All right, thank you, Commissioner Hickswell. Next up is recreation. Newly appointed recreation chair is Commissioner Payne. Commissioner.
Yeah, so I'd like to report that the RAC met last night, and we did have a good discussions on what's in store for us for 2022. And all our programs are already on the website, and everyone should consider registering for our spring, summer, and fall programs. So hats off to our director, Doug, for putting this all together. That's all for now.
Thank you. Next up is planning and zoning, Commissioner Rothrock. Get those steps in.
Thank you, Mr. President. There was a planning commission meeting on the 20th of December. There was one item on there, and that was the Tommy Express car, which is on 3523 Union Deposit Road. And the board, the Planning Commission has approved, I need to mention the waiver here. There were two waivers requested. One included a waiver of sidewalk on the west side of Able Drive. And the reason for that request is that both the entrance and the exit drives at this rather large car wash come off that side of the street. And so what the developer is proposing is to put a sidewalk on the other side of the street where there's no, traffic going through that. And the waivers and the plan approval were recommended for approval by this board, and we're going to talk about that later in the meeting. That concludes my report.
All right, bids and agreements. First up is the 2014 Ford Explorer Interceptor, authorization to advertise for sale via municipal bid. Is there a motion? Or do you need to talk about this, Dave? Okay. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Commissioner Engel moved.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Falona. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Opposed. Motion carries. Next up is Boyd Foundation grant. This, we were notified of an award for $100,000 for Boyd Park Phase 2. So accept the terms and conditions of the grant award and authorize the president to execute any and all documents necessary to receive the funding. So is there a motion to that effect? Moved by Commissioner Rothrock, seconded by Commissioner Hessroth. Any discussion? Yep, thank you. And we will be giving them a tour when he makes his semi-annual flight through central Pennsylvania, which will be probably sometime in May or June. All right, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next up is Herbert Roland Grubik, Phase 2 final design for the bidding, award, and construction of Boyd Park project. Authorize execution of the scope of services. Is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
Moved and seconded. Commissioners Engel and Pine. Discussion. Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. We're looking forward to this. When's the anticipated completion of the project, Bob?
What we'd like to do, we have all of our permits in place, and we are, via this proposal, we are finalizing.
Hold on, if you can, hold on one second.
Thanks, Doug. All of our approvals are in place, our outside agency approvals. Through this proposal that you just approved, we will be completing not only the final design, but also setting up the bid specifications, the bid package, administering the bid process, putting the project out for competitive construction bids, and then reviewing the payment processes, awarding the contracts, construction administration and inspection. So basically this will take us to the end of the project. What we would like to do is within a period of about 6 to 8 weeks, put the project out for construction bids, which would mean that we would be looking at somewhere towards mid-March. I'm estimating that we could put it out for bid, accept bids sometime in April, and hopefully begin construction in May for a spring and summer construction and be completed late summer, early fall. Thank you.
Next up is request to authorize the execution of agreement between the Township, Dauphin County Treasurer, and the newly elected tax collector, Christopher Nowak, relating to the collection of real estate taxes. Moved by Commissioner Falona. Seconded by Commissioner Flecken. In a nutshell, what this is Dauphin County Treasurer's Office has collected taxes on behalf of the township for the last 8 years or so, and it works like a clock. But unfortunately, the legislature has not changed state law, which still allows for the election of a local tax collector. So we have people get their names written in and they win elections, but they don't know the massive job it is to collect $30 million the bonding requirements, the education requirements, and all that goes into collecting one heck of a lot of money and securely depositing it for the benefit of 3 taxing authorities. So we worked with the treasurer, Janice Creason, and she worked out an agreement over the past several years with a couple of other that were elected tax collector. And basically, we had Mr. Nowak is our tax collector. He was sworn in last week with all the rest of us. But he is assigning Treasurer Creason as the tax collector for our taxes. So we're assured of much more convenient hours, much more professional services, and somebody who's been doing this in an office that has been doing this for a long, long time. So that's it in a nutshell. Does anybody have any comments or questions before we vote on it? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
And opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Page 2. Name that radio personality. Page 2. Paul Harvey. Paul Harvey. All right. Seriously, folks, I'm here all week. Action on ordinances, resolutions, subdivision, land development plans. Consider resolution 22R01, accepting a $30,000 grant from National Fitness Campaign for the purchase and installation of a fitness court. Either Fred or Doug, we may turn to you for your expertise on this after we entertain a motion.
Second.
Moved and seconded, Commissioners Fleming and Pine. Doug, you want to take it?
It looks great over there. I look up the website.
Thanks. So yes, we applied for a grant in late summer of last year to the National Fitness Campaign for the Fit Court program. It's basically taking the old style fitness trails that were the small fitness stations put along trails throughout the country, putting it all into one space and one pad, and it's all plyometric type workout, so it's all using your body weight, push, pull, and various forms of exercising. Through the campaign, if the board does choose to accept the grant, they also are going to be consulting and helping us through the entire process of purchase, working on getting sponsorship for the remainder of the cost of the Fit Court. The total cost is $185,000. That's purchased, installed by their professional installers. My goal is to try and get $125,000 in sponsorship. That we've identified a few companies within our area and even our township that this may fit well within their mission. So we're going to work on making those attempts to help reimburse the remaining costs of the overall court. The nice thing with the court, though, once it's installed, there will be QR codes on the equipment that will basically be a personal trainer for whoever's utilizing the equipment. So it give them entire workouts. They'll be taught how to safely use the equipment. We are looking to put it on next to the trailhead for the Greenbelt extension at Veterans Park. There's a nice plateau right at the trailhead that it would fit very nicely there. And the fitness campaign, like the connection between the trail and the future enclave construction project or development project, and the amount of use that the trail gets, it fits within their mission. It was kind of like it lined up perfectly with them. So they're going to be with us the entire process. I've already been having monthly meetings with them and moving this through. So they're almost like consultants for the project on itself, on top of giving us $30,000 towards the project. Yeah, it's right at the top of the switchback. There's that flat plateau right there. So that's where we anticipate the placement.
So Doug, this was an item that the Recreation Advisory Committee was discussing.
Yeah, the Recreation Advisory Committee has discussed it numerous times from last year on. They were notified of the award of the grant. The grant is non-binding, so if we choose to walk away, we can. There's no loss other than the money towards the project. But they've been on board since the start of the process throughout, and we actually discussed it a little bit more last night. And still consensus on doing the project moving forward.
All right. Any comments?
So look up the this fitness court information. They have a website, and they have some videos on how it's supposed to be used. And there's even an art component to it. Like you can actually paint one side of it, so that could give us a different kind of art project if we want to do that. And there's an app component to it. As I said, you know, there's a QR code. So you can use an app with it. So it really bodes well for our fitness goals for our township.
Any other comments or questions? Commissioner History.
Just to clarify for me, Doug, exactly where at Veterans Park, because I know where the ball fields are at, the soccer field, et cetera, the basketball court. I mean, where exactly? I'm assuming it's up by the soccer field somewhere, but I'm not sure.
So we'll be, as you go down the parking lot past the, basically the multi-use field, right before you go to the Public Works building, that's where the trailhead is for the Andrew Avenue spur. And as you go down slightly from the start of the trail to the right, there's a flat plateau at the top of the hill. That's where we're looking to put it. One of the things that the Fitness Challenge campaign, one of the things they want to do, as much as they want to have children utilize the equipment for what it's used for, they don't want it close to playgrounds or other types of areas like that to be turning into an extension of a playground. They want it to be utilized for the fitness aspect of it.
Any other comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Opposed, motion carries. Next up is Tommy's Express Car Wash.
Camera. Is that better? This is a preliminary land and final land development plan for the purpose of constructing a new 4,551 square foot car wash. The property is located at 3523 Union Deposit Road in the Commercial Highway Zoning District in Ward 5. The Planning Commission reviewed the plan as mentioned in Commissioner Rothrock's report and made the following recommendations at their meeting on December 20th. To approve the waiver requests from Section 22-404 preliminary plan and Section 22-1107 sidewalk requirements to allow a waiver on a sidewalk on the western side of Able Drive. So I would need a motion to approve those waivers. Correct. The western side, they own the property across of all of Able Drive, so it's because it's kind of a private drive. That section doesn't have any driveway cuts in it. The other section does, and there'll be a lot of car traffic. So this just was more logical.
Eastern drive, or the eastern side, they will have the sidewalk. Just be outside.
Yes, you're waiving the western side sidewalk. Eastern side will have a sidewalk. Thank you. And the plan was recommended for approval by the Planning Commission with the following conditions: address any outstanding comments in the December 16th, 2021 comment letter issued by HRG, including providing copies of required agency approvals for the E&S control plan, the NPDES permit, and the sewage planning module. Provide a signed and executed operation and maintenance agreement and developers agreement. Provide financial security for the construction of all applicable improvements. The second recommendation was to provide a general note on the plan that the sidewalk will be constructed upon receipt of the highway occupancy permit from PennDOT and include the cost of the HOP permit and the financial guarantee. I'll just repeat it. The question was if the property owner is aware of their responsibilities to maintain the sidewalk. Yes, it is. It's in our ordinances that they're required to do, but they are aware that they need to maintain it.
You know, it's thick with snow, which is now ice. Response.
I don't know if when that went in, since it was a township project, that the property owners are all aware that they are required to maintain that section of the sidewalk. But we'll have Catherine notify everybody that they need to be doing that. And then, you still have the motion on the table, right? The applicant is here if you have any questions for him as well. Thank you.
Just one thing, Mr. President, members of the board, I just want to take this opportunity to introduce Kathy Fry. Kathy started with us on January 3rd. She's sitting to the right of me. She is just doing a phenomenal job. She's administrative assistant, assisting both in general matters with the administration department, as well as the community development department. And again, she's doing a great job. So I just wanted to take an opportunity to welcome Kathy. So thank you, Kathy. So beyond that welcome, Mr. President, I have nothing further to report on this evening. Rob, do you have anything under public safety?
I have nothing new to report. Still looking for, we have an open position, zoning officer.
Engineer, we have our report in our packet, commissioners. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
This goes to Mike. Very good, thank you. Mr. Solicitor, do you have a report?
Mr. President, on the engineer's report?
Yes.
I just want to commend inclusion of the Catherine Street drainage issue. I noted that. I have noticed that myself when I've been in the 3rd Ward, and I think that's an excellent project to complete, and I just want to commend for inclusion of that in your report.
I do not, Mr. President.
Yes, we are moving through the proofing process of our next newsletter. The anticipated mail date right now is going to be January 21st. So we should end up with final draft in the next day or so. That will be out for review for the committee, and then we'll move forward.
Doug, in some of our communications I've read, texts and so forth about advertising. Is it too late to get advertising into this edition, or should we talk about the future edition?
I don't believe it's too late. I know they just gave me a new figure. They've gotten 5,800, I believe, in advertising for this issue. So they're reworking the layout a little bit, but the last meeting I had with them, they said they would take advertisement up till a few days before. Yeah, pass them to me, and then I'll be sure to get that information over to the advertising person over at Graph Tech. Yeah, if you wouldn't mind real quick. So we've implemented an online registration and facility reservation system. It is live and active on our website. It has all of our upcoming spring programming and some of our summer programs, as well as reservations are now being able to be reserved, or pavilions are now being able to be reserved on the software as well. And I am pleased to say we've already had a registration on the software. I've reached out to the person. They thought it was extremely easy to use. They actually used the payment plan process as well. So it's working as intended.
Next up is old business.
Thank you, Mr. President. We have two matters. The first is Linlow. This is a tax assessment appeal for a property at 2550 Interstate Drive. There has been a lot of discussion about this. The fair market value, if we resolve this matter, would require the township to accept $9,229 less in tax revenue. However, the difference between the settlement value and the litigation value is relatively minimal. It would cost more to try the case than it would to resolve it. And so I'm asking for a motion to approve the settlement, which the school district and the county have already approved for Linlow Properties X. Mr. President, the second matter is the tax assessment appeal, Nickel Plate Improvement Company Incorporated. That is the real name of the property and the owner. Sounds like something out of a Wile E. Coyote deal. It's at 4600 Deer Path Road, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. It's a 2.88 acre of commercial. I don't know what's going on with this microphone. Here, the settlement value would result in a decrease in tax revenue of $4,977. Again, this is a situation where the fair market value, whether we go to trial or whether we settle it, is going to be so close to the settlement value. We are recommending settlement, which again, the county and the school district have already approved. So I'm asking for a motion to approve the settlement in the nickel plate improvement matter. Thank you to the board and the microphone guy.
Thanks, Doug. Okay, I think it's on to new business. Page 3. All right, two items. One are Board of Commissioner committee assignments. Passed those out via email yesterday. I hope everybody's happy with them and looking forward to, a lot of energy being applied to the various important aspects of local government that we're entrusted to provide to our citizens. So thank you all for your help on that. Second is boards and commissions, and these are largely committee assignments composed of volunteers from the community. And we have a list of vacancies that occur at the end of the year. So those that we can, I'd like to go about filling those tonight. We'll start with the Recreation Advisory Committee. And the first one up is the first ward. Commissioner Robarchuk?
Yes, I would like to reappoint Dick Northford.
All right, thank you. Is there a second to that?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any comments? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Next up is in the third ward.
Yes, I also would like to reappoint Arlene Prentice.
All right. Is there a second? Second. Moved and seconded. Any comment? All in favor?
Aye.
And opposed? Motion carries. Next up is the mighty fifth ward.
Mr. President, I'd like to reappoint Mr. Greg Peters.
No, no second, sorry. There you go, you sport. Moved and seconded for Mr. Peters. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And the next one I think that we're prepared to act on tonight is the sixth ward, or seventh ward, Representative Pedro Mora.
Move to reappoint Pedro Mora.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
And opposed? Motion carries. And we'll get to work on identifying candidates for the other vacancies we have there. Next up is the Emergency Management Coordinator.
Mr. President,
Yes?
I move that we nominate, I would like to move that we appoint Bradley Reese to serve as our Emergency Management Coordinator in Susquehanna Township.
Second.
Moved and seconded by Commissioner Falone. Any comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Fire Marshal's good, Pension Committee's good. Zoning Hearing Board, we have an alternate, Bub Manning, who's indicated a willingness to be reappointed to the position.
Mr. President,
Yes.
I move that we reappoint Mr. Bud Manning as alternate to the Zoning Hearing Board.
Moved and seconded by Commissioner Hisro. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
And opposed? Motion carries. Industrial and Commercial Development Authority, we have a vacancy at the end of 2021. The incumbent is Commissioner Robarchuk. Is there a motion?
Mr. President,
Yes.
I move to reappoint Jody Robarchuk to the Industrial and Commercial Development Authority.
second.
Second.
Moved and seconded by Commissioner Pine. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And we have...
Thank you.
Thank you, Jody. And we have two members of the Property Maintenance Board of Appeals, and both have indicated a willingness to be reappointed if it's the pleasure of the board. Gary Lenker is a regular member, and Dick Cray is an alternate.
Mr. President,
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to reappoint Mr. Gary Lenker, Property Maintenance Board of Appeals.
And you want to roll
And
Dick Cray?
as well, while I'm at it, Mr. Dick Cray as alternate to that board.
I'd like to second that motion.
Okay, and it's been seconded by Commissioner Hisro. Questions or discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Civil Service Commission, we have one vacancy by incumbent Sanford Kresge, who served on this for a number of years and is a real asset to our regulatory environment and the police operations. And he's indicated a willingness to be reappointed. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Engel.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Napper. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Planning Commission. And we have 3 vacancies by virtue of the expiration of the year. They are Mitch Kemp, and they're all incumbents. Mitch Kemp, Brian Moore, and DeLon Wilborn. And they've all, as I understand it, Commissioner, Mr. Kratzer, indicated willingness to serve. So the chair will entertain a motion. Commissioner Rothrock. All right, moved and seconded. Comments or questions for the board? All in favor?
Aye.
And opposed? Motion carries. We're good with the authority. Health Board, Dr. Bakari, term expired in 2021. He's indicated a willingness to be reappointed to the board. Is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
Moved by Commissioner Fleming, seconded by Commissioner Pine. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Shade Tree Commission, Pat Carroll's term expired at the end of 2021, and he's indicated a willingness to re-up.
Mr. President, I make a motion that we reappoint Mr. Pat Carroll to the Shade Tree Commission.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Engel. Discussion or comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And on the Human Relations Commission, we're going to have to do some work on this. We have several vacancies. We've had one indication so far of the 9-member body. We've had one request to be reappointed at the expiration of 2021, and that was incumbent Amy Putnam. But we're going to have to try to beat the bushes and try to find some people to serve on this commission. So Amy Putnam has put her name forward. Is there a motion?
Yeah, I would like to so move. I've known Amy for many years, and I think she'd be great to continue to serve on the committee.
Very good.
Second.
Moved and seconded by Commissioner Bologna. In discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Is that it?
Yeah.
That is it for this evening.
It's a marathon. Yeah. Yeah. All right. We'll go to Commissioner comments. Anybody have any comments at the beginning of the new year?
Just briefly, if I can, Mr. President.
Sure.
Just want to welcome our new commissioners, Commissioner Hisserow, Commissioner Falona. Welcome to the board, and look forward to serving with you. And that's it. Those are my comments. No, well, I do have to do the report of bills paid. Just kidding.
Well, I'm going to extend Justin's comment, Commissioner Fleming's comments. So thank you for welcoming me, and I really appreciate everyone on the board for the warm welcome, and also the township employees headed by Dave. This is really the honor of my lifetime to be on the board of this township. So I will definitely do my best to serve the township and also work on the committees I'm assigned to. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome aboard. All right, we're done with commissioner comments. Shall we pay some bills, Mr. Fleming?
Thank you. Mr. President, I move that we accept the report of bills paid in the amount of $4,050,809.93. Yes, Mr. President. So for those who are regular viewers, they will notice that that is an awfully heavy month of bills. And the reason is because once a year in the beginning of the year, we we pay our minimum municipal obligation for our pension obligation. And so of that just over $4 million, $1,988,383.51 is our minimum municipal obligation. We pay that, as it comes every year, so we can, keep our pension system as funded as it is. We have gotten a break over the last several years as investments have been very, very good, which have allowed us to increase the levels that the pensions are funded at. And so I just wanted to explain for those regular viewers who, usually our reported bills paid is anywhere from, 1.7 to $2.1 million every month. The reason why this one is so big is that pension payment. And again, it's negotiated with our police and our non-police unions, and that we meet our obligation. Some other places choose not to. But we have in Susquehanna Township, and will continue to do so. There's, I guess, a motion and a second on the report of bills paid.
Aye. Opposed? The bills are paid, or approved to be paid. Anything else before we?
Motion to adjourn.
Second. Whoa, moved and seconded. Wow. Things have changed. All right. Moved and seconded. Any comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, we're adjourned. Thank you, everybody.